Welcome, folks. I am Jaby Koay, joined by ACHARA KIRK.
Hi there.
And we're about to look at the second trailer to Spider-Man Far From Home. Finally, we have more context because Endgame is out, so we understand things a little bit better. Because after the first trailer, I was like, who, what, why, where, how, when, what? I don't understand. Like, give me a little bit more. And so now we have the more, and we're about to watch this with that more information. So hopefully you guys all got to see Endgame, and we are all in the same boat here. Otherwise, you're in the water and we're in the boat looking at you, confused. Yes, this is quite exciting. Here we go, let's check this out.
The Spider-Man Far From Home trailer is about to play, but if you haven't seen Avengers Endgame yet, stop watching because there's some serious spoilers about to come up.
Okay.
That's
But
cute.
if you have seen Avengers Endgame, enjoy the trailer.
All right.
Thanks, Tom Holland.
Everywhere I go, I see his face.
Oh.
I just really miss him.
Yeah, I miss him too.
Oh, Jesus.
I don't think Tony would have done what he did if he didn't know that you were going to be here after he was gone.
You gonna be the next Iron Man now?
Well, no, I don't have time. I'm too busy doing your jobs. I'm kidding. Look, keep up the good work because I am going on vacation.
Heads up, Nick Fury's calling you.
I don't really want to talk to Nick
Answer
Fury.
the phone.
Why?
Because if you don't talk to him, then I have to talk to him. I don't want to talk to him. You sent Nick Fury to voicemail?
I gotta go.
You do not ghost Nick Fury.
Hey, Gertz. What's up? We're just talking about the trip.
I'm here in St. Marco Polo. Oh,
I think MJ really likes me.
that reminds me when I first fell in love.
You're a very difficult person to contact, Spider-Man. This is Mr. Beck.
We could use someone like you on my world.
Your world, Beck, is from Earth, just not ours. The snap to our hole in our dimension.
You're saying there's a multiverse?
We have a job to do, and you're coming with us.
Oh, very cool.
Gotta be someone else you can use. What about Thor?
Off-world.
Captain Marvel. Unavailable. But I'm just a friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
Bitch, please, you've been to space.
What do you mean, Peter?
I want to go back on my trip with the girl who I really like and tell her how I feel. MJ,
I'm Spider-Man.
No, of course I'm not.
I mean, it's kind of obvious.
You're right, you may not be ready, but this is my responsibility. Saving the world requires sacrifice. Sometimes people die.
Oh my God.
I just always feel like I put in my friends in danger. The world needs the next Iron Man.
You going to step up or not?
That's dope. I love that music.
Yes.
Get you guys out of here! Get on the jet! Who are you? I work with Spider-Man. You work for Spider-Man? I work with Spider-Man, not for Spider-Man.
That is so awesome. Oh my god. I'm actually super happy that Happy gets to be in this more.
I'm really glad that they mentioned the whole spoiler thing and actually gave us more context.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I really needed. I really like seeing that this is considering the consequences of Endgame. Like that plays a big role, at least in the first act of this movie.
Yeah.
And what he's dealing with. So it's making him have to step up to the plate more. I also love this idea of the multiverse theory. Like, you know, opening that up because then that allows you to explore way more of what Marvel has to offer.
Well, yeah, because they already started that with Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, right? So it's
Right.
nice to see that crossover now into the live action stuff because that was really, really cool.
I'm wondering if we're gonna have more like alternate versions explored of like,
Yeah.
you know, the superheroes we're already familiar with and whatnot. I mean, that's of course been explored in detail in the comics, like in an infinite amount of ways. And so to see, it just opens up the possibility in libraries for all kinds of stuff, which is super, super cool. Like this is the, what do you call it? The genesis of so much more to come. I mean, obviously Into the Spider-Verse was the very first. It's interesting that they're both happening with Spider-Man, both times the multiverse thing.
Maybe that's already been explored a lot in the Spider-Man comics, so now it's just coming into the the movies that we're seeing.
I haven't read the comic books in a long time, but it's just interesting to me that both films are what's exploring this idea. The humor, man, like, is so awesome. I love Happy. I love the relationship between him and Spider-Man.
Yeah.
It's great, especially there at the very end. It's like, I don't work for Spider-Man. I work with Spider-Man.
There's a big difference.
Yeah.
I was thinking the same thing when they were like, "Oh, you work for Spider-Man?" Like, no, he doesn't. He's basically his babysitter.
It's basically his bitch. Nick Fury.
Yes.
Sam Jackson he's the person you hire because he cusses perfectly. It's like,
That should just be on his resume. It's like, Sam Jackson, list of credits, and then under special skills, it's like, can swear perfectly, like a mofo.
The other part of Spider-Man's story that's interesting that they're exploring here is that the fact that he's just trying to be a kid. Right? He's trying to live out his life, like have a semblance of a normal life. And now he's experiencing that adulthood, like that pull into adulthood, that pull towards responsibilities again, like with great responsibility and all that stuff. Or with great power, rather, comes great responsibility.
Yes.
I messed that up real good. So, but anyway, he's dealing with a lot of stuff all at once, which is crazy.
Well, yeah, especially with the loss of Iron Man, those are big shoes to fill.
Right.
And all of a sudden, he's the man for the job. He's just a kid.
Right. He's dealing with the loss of his pseudo father.
Yeah.
He's dealing with being in love for the first time with MJ,
Yes.
holding on to this secret, and there's a helicopter flying over it, and also saving the world, this alternate dimension.
And talking about MJ, I really liked her in the previous movie, and I like her even more now. I love the direction that they're taking with this character because she's so sassy. I like Zendaya's interpretation of her. She's just a badass. I like that a lot.
Where she's not just a damsel in distress.
Exactly.
She's very smart.
Yes.
And can take care of herself, but still attractive.
Yes. I love the whole thing about how, you know how before his catchphrase has always been, he's the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, and he gets called out on it by Nick Fury, like, hey, you've been to space. He's had to step up his game as part of the Avengers. He's not just a friendly neighborhood Spider-Man anymore. He's Spider-Man on a global scale. He's Spider-Man on a multiverse scale now as well.
Yeah, Nick Fury's like, this ain't your first rodeo, boy.
Yeah, like, come on now.
Let's do this.
Stop making excuses.
You're a man now. Fun and games was yesterday. Today, it's all hard work and no play. Buddy, how do you like seeing your home blown up, huh?
I mean, it's not the first time. You know, stuff happens in London in movies all the time. But it is cool that he gets to take a field trip and have this different scenery to the Spider-Man story because we're so used to seeing him all the time in New York City.
One of my hopes is, I mean, it looks like this is a huge visual effects spectacle, but I hope that it's not trying to come anywhere near, like, huge spectacles that we've seen recently. You know what I'm saying? Like, the thing is, you can't top Endgame. That's its own thing, and they spent $350 million on the film or something like that. So just having an adventure, like another episode in Spider-Man, like, I that's what I want. I don't want it to try to be the biggest thing ever. Just another episode, another thing to bring us back into the theaters and watch more of his story unfold. That's all I'm looking for here.
And like, back to that whole idea of him being the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, he's always been that superhero that everyone loves because he's so charming and lovely and funny and quippy. That really comes through in this trailer, and I'm sure that's gonna be kind of what the movie's like as well. And that's what we buy into every time we go to a Spider-Man movie. We just love Spider-Man.
Right, exactly.
You know?
I think he's captured the spirit of Peter Parker really, really strongly.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember in Endgame when he showed up, just how everybody was so happy.
Yes.
Like, everyone was cheering. I'm like, oh, wow, like, we all collectively really appreciate what he brings here.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's also the bond with Iron Man. I really wonder how they're going to explore the fallout of what he's dealing with, you know? I mean,
Emotionally?
Emotionally, like, if it's just at the beginning, or if it, like, kind of is there throughout. Like, you feel Tony Stark's presence kind of watching over him, so to speak.
Yeah, I mean, I would imagine that that's what it is because he's got to kind of come to terms with the loss and also step up to the plate and fill the big shoes that Iron Man has left behind. And it's a big legacy. It's like you said, you know, he's a father figure.
Yeah.
I imagine it would be a thread going throughout.
Right, so this is truly his coming of age tale then. Y'all, thanks so much for hanging out with us. By the way, we've got our Endgame spoiler and non-spoiler reviews, both linked in the description below, as well as my 10 reasons why I believe Endgame is the best comic book film of all time, up to now. I mean, it might be bested by Spider-Man Far From Home. I don't think so. I think Endgame is gonna be the best comic book film for a while, and I state why. You may not agree, but I still think it's worth watching, so do check that out. Also, it didn't get that many views, so it might make me feel a little bit better. That's not the reason why though. I mean, I just think it's a fun video overall, and it's worthwhile. We also have reviews for other Marvel related stuff, of course, so y'all can check those out in the description below. Thanks so much for hanging out. Love y'all. Do subscribe if you haven't already. Hit the bell icon so you get notified every time we drop a new video. And check out our other reactions, reviews, short films, vlogs, and also ACHARA KIRK. She's on the social medias waiting for you to click on her Instagram and her Twitter and be like, hello.
Hello.
She likes that. Anyway, that's it. I'm Jaby Koay. This is
ACHARA KIRK.
Peace out.